The only thing that's good enough is completely and totally destroying the political left in this country. Destroy it. The greatest American general ever, Douglas MacArthur, said there is no substitute for victory. And defense is never going to bring you to victory. It will never, sitting here and saying, I'm going to defend the second, I'm going to defend this, we're going to defend. Defense gets you nowhere except where you already are if you're lucky. It's time to defund the left. I'm talking about defunding government agencies, defunding bureaucrats, defunding government schools and going to 100% private school like Florida's making gestures at right now. Let's make sure that bill that just passed, House Bill 1, gets fully implemented in good faith, and we don't have government schools and we don't have strings attached to our private education models that are about to merge here in the state of Florida at a much faster rate. Let's truly beat the left at the federal level. What does that look like? Gutting the DOJ like a fish and defunding these government agencies. You know, it's funny, 10 years ago, when there were government shutdowns, the first time the Tea Party really made a headway in D.C., people were so afraid of government shutdown. Oh, what if the government shuts down? That could be so bad. The public thought that would be bad, there'd be consequences. I can tell you right now, the polls show, and they're accurate, that independents and people across the political spectrum are so fed up with this federal government, a government shutdown would be considered a major accomplishment by the Republican Party. I think we should actually push for a government shutdown. I think we actually need to defund and destabilize this terror that's happening in Washington, D.C. that's quite literally aimed at us and our families and our children and everything that's going on here. Defund and shut down and destroy the wokeism that exists in this country. You know, I got some really good news this week. I don't know if anybody saw my billboards coming in Lake County. I'm not one of those people that believes that your business life and your political life need to be separate. My billboards say Sabatini Law Firm fighting woke corporations. Even though historically I've used my short legal career to fight government overreach, now I'm going to be a lot more focused on some of these anti-white woke companies like Starbucks. You know, this week I saw, like I mentioned a minute ago, I got some really positive news. There was a woman who was fired just for being white. She was told that. It was right after the George Floyd riots in New Jersey. Federal court, she sued Starbucks, and it was obvious that the wokeism that they push, it's really just anti-white racism. And you have to apologize if you're white. That's essentially the heart of it. Not make it very complex. Is a violation of the Civil Rights Act. It's a violation of the Federal Civil Rights Act. And so they awarded her $600,000 actual damages and another $24 million imputed damage. She won $25 million from the Starbucks company for being a victim of anti-white racism. So things are changing in this country. People are waking up, and these insane satanic doctrines will be defeated both politically and legally. We're doing everything we can to do it. And that's why it's so important that we're here today, educating everybody amongst each other about what we can do to fight back against this leftist threat. Because if you notice, the pendulum swung. I remember how woke this country got, or at least felt, in 2018, 2019, especially 2020. But the pendulum has swung. And I'm telling you right now, we need to take advantage of it. Right now needs to be the time when, in my opinion, our governor should not be in Iowa. He should be back in Florida in a special session, passing more laws. I was down. I don't think you should be in Iowa right now. We got a lot more work to do right here in Florida. A lot more work. You know, it's funny. Talk the civil rights stuff we were just talking about, right? And this wokeism, this racist wokeism they push. Right now, people are saying, hey, it's good, you know, that we passed this anti-woke law. It's still obviously being litigated with a leftist judge in Tallahassee, Mark Walker, who on my first day in Congress, I will file articles of impeachment against. But the truth of the matter is we need to go so much further. We need to go so much further with our laws in Florida. We need to extinguish the left. We should be, if the Democrats had the House, the Senate, and the governorship in Florida, and they had supermajorities. I mean, once again, they would be using every last ounce of that energy. They would be in a special session, state legislative session, year-round, just passing bill after bill after bill, crushing us and awarding their friends and punishing their enemies, the ultimate rule of politics. That's what they would be doing. But we're not doing that right now.